Thanks for staying with us. This is Newsline. I'm Michael Chugani. With me is Uncle Ray, who's just turned 88 years old and still going strong. Uncle Ray, just before the break, we talked about you. Ways back in the old days, jumped into the harbor to raise money for charity. You said it was 33 degrees Fahrenheit, I think, because now we've got centigrade, right?
That's right, yeah.
And that's cold. That is
Very
cold. That is cold.
But the worst part of it, it was completely dark. You know, there's no light in the middle of the harbor.
That's correct. Yeah.
And
not like now when it's all lit up because of all the neon signs.
Do we have sharks here or not?
but
scary, very scary.
Would you do it now at 88? Would you jump into the harbor for charity?
I could slip into the harbor, but I wouldn't jump.
You would still do it? If somebody was to say, Uncle Ray, I'm going to donate $1 million to charity,
well,
slip into the harbor.
If it's $1 million, I probably will do it.
Would you do it?
Because I can still swim.
You can still swim? Do you still swim?
No, well, just for relaxing and all that. But I know how to swim, so it's okay. If it's $1 million.
It's cold now. It's this week. It's cold, and you would still do it in this cold weather.
You can only die once,
which you don't want to do because you want to keep on going with your music and keep us entertained with your music. Now, I want to go back to what you did in your life, and you influenced Hong Kong's music scene so much. With your songs, every night you play, and I think you promoted and made a lot of former local artists quite famous in Hong Kong through your radio show and so on. Tell me, how has Hong Kong's music scene changed since you were right out there with all the old artists that used to sing entertainers in Hong Kong?
Well, to be quite honest, Michael, I sort of grew up with the 60s music because it was 64 when I was in London.
That's when you saw the Beatles.
The era of the Beatles, and it's Mersey beat in UK. It was very, very big. So I interviewed the Rolling Stones, the Searchers, Hollies, and you just name it. I just came across all those people. I had a hell of a...
You never hear those names anymore now, except for the Beatles.
Well, they're still around. Animals, they're still around. Much fatter, much older, And I brought this a bag full of interviews with me from London to Hong Kong and started the local scene here. In those days, guitar just came into fashion because of the Beatles. Everybody who can play 2 or 3 chords, they form a group, And that's when the pop scene started in Hong Kong.
You identify with that period.
And I was the one who initiated the move with Teddy Robin, the Playboys. I became their manager. And of course, Joe Jr., I know his father. His father came, hey, I have a crazy son who wants to sing. Can you help him? I said, sure. So Joe Jr. became
And they've all remained your friends. They were all at your birthday party, right? Except for Joe Jr., Teddy Robin, they were all there.
Yeah, Joe Jr. Unfortunately, Joe Jr. was in Vancouver for some private party, some casino in Vancouver. He apologized, he couldn't come. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. So.
One of your idols, I know, is Cliff Richard, because you mention him on your show a lot. He's a friend of yours. Did you invite him to your party?
I did. He sent me a lovely reply on email, saying, unfortunately, I have commitments, I couldn't come, but I'd like to wish you. Anyone
that's nice.
He respects anyone who's older than him. That's me.
You grew up with the 60s, that was your thing, the Mersey beat, like you said. What do you think of today's music scene? You've got Gangnam Style music, guy pretending to ride a horse.
Gangnam Style, I think, is just a flash in the pan. I think it's just one song.
Will it last?
I don't think so. It's just one song, maybe 2 songs, and that's about it.
So it's a one song wonder.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, music must be music.
You don't think Gangnam Style is music?
It has a beat. That's about it. It's a beat, and you can dance to it.
But that's about it.
But I don't think it will.
What about all the canto pop songs?
Canto pop. I tell you what. When canto pop started, I was here, and it was music of the 60s and 70s were very, very big, and then came the Hoy brothers, Sam Hoy and Michael Hoy. They started to produce movies. And then Michael asked Sam, say, we have a movie now, but we don't have a theme song. So Sam started to compose his theme song for the movie in Cantonese. And that was the start of the Cantonese era. Of course, in those days, they didn't have composers, too many composers in Hong Kong, Cantonese composers. But now, there are a lot of good songs, and a lot of good sound recording.
You don't play much Canto Pop on your radio show.
I don't, because it's not my line. You know,
Sure.
my line is old favorites.
Who are your listeners now, Uncle Ray?
I still think I have young and old.
Do you have young people now listening?
Oh yes. All, well, you won't believe this, Michael. My biggest audience are the taxi drivers.
Really?
Because
no kidding.
Most of them are over 50 years old,
Uh-huh.
and they grew up with my music. They know how to speak English through my programs and all that. And they even asked me once, why don't you teach these people how to sing? I said, how can I teach them? I'm not a singer.
So when you go into a taxi, they will all recognize you.
I think I'm the only one who gets free rides sometimes.
You get free rides in a taxi?
Oh, they wouldn't take my money. I said, come on. The meter's going to say, oh, I'm the boss. He said, it's free.
So these same times, there's been a lot of horror stories about taxi drivers driving off with the belongings of mainland tourists and so on. But they treat you well. They don't take money from you.
Oh, no. We have long chats during the drive and all that.
So you should say, if your taxi drivers are your listeners, you should say on radio, Uncle Ray, to these taxi drivers now, don't drive away with the belongings of mainland tourists.
I would advise them not.
You should tell them not to do that.
That's greediness.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Tell me this. You know, you're 88 years old. You started in radio 64 years ago. You grew up in Hong Kong. Been here all your life. How has Hong Kong changed? It's 2000 and ending 2012, going to 2013. How has Hong Kong changed?
Are you talking about music, or are you talking about
Just generally in Hong Kong?
I've seen all the changes. I've seen all the changes. I've seen the good and the bad, and I've been
What's
through
the
it.
bad?
Well, you remember the SARS.
Yeah, sure.
Hong Kong.
I was here. I just came back from the U.S.
Hong
right.
Kong took a terrific beating.
a beating, a very bad beating.
And,
But do you like the Hong Kong now or the Hong Kong before?
no matter what happens, Michael, no matter what happens, Hong Kong is still my home.
You never thought of
I think
emigrating?
There's no place in the world better than Hong Kong. I can
Tell me
argue
why.
this.
A lot of people say that, but tell me why.
Where else can you walk around after midnight without being mugged? You want to eat. There's always restaurants open after midnight. Everywhere in the world, at 6 p.m., everything closed down.
That's correct.
Right? So Hong Kong is alive after midnight. In fact, I interviewed a black singer who passed through Hong Kong. I said, hey, he made Hong Kong his home. He married a Chinese girl. He stayed. I said, what's so amazing about Hong Kong? Why did you? He's a professional singer in Los Angeles. He said, where else in the world can you go around without losing your watch at night? You know, someone will mug you, and Hong Kong is safe. He said, places are alive with restaurants open after midnight. You can have a snack any time. I think Hong Kong is the place.
So you don't mind that we have all these changes now in Hong Kong with tall buildings, so many people in the streets. You can deal with that.
The only thing that I would like to see improved is the air pollution.
Does that affect you?
Not really, because I am asleep most of the time.
You sleep during the day.
I sleep during the day. I come out at night, so it's not too bad.
You still live in Broadcast Drive where their station is.
That's right, just behind, just two walks away.
You still drive a car?
I still drive, but I have a feeling when my driver license expires, they wouldn't renew it because I'm 88, you see.
So why not? If you can drive, they should renew it.
Well, the thing is they have to get age and all that. But I hope I'll give it a try and see whether they will reject.
Do you drive long distances or just short distances?
No. I only drive straight roads, like from my place, Broadcast Drive, straight down the Princess Margaret Road to KCC. You know, around the corner.
So you actually drive to KCC, to the Cullen Cricket Club. That's where you had your party.
That's right. That's my second home. KCC.
You're out there all the time.
I love the place.
So what's your plan? I've got less than a minute left. You're 88. You want to continue doing it. Do you look down ahead of you and says, "What next?" Do you ever do that?
I don't know. As long as Hong Kong is what it is today, you can't ask for a better place than Hong Kong.
So you don't have any future plans. You just want to continue doing your radio show. You never think of retirement. You never think of anything. You just want to continue.
You see, I just heard from the doctors that I cannot fly anymore because of my heart operation. So if I can't fly, I'm going to stay put. Yeah, stay put. And Hong Kong is my home. So here I stay.
So everybody comes to visit you.
Well, if I can't go to them, they must come to me.
That's true. And let's hope they continue doing that for a long, long time to come. Thank you very much. See you next week. Good evening and a Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you, Uncle Ray.